I will be doing a quick tank review for the Japanese Tier 6 medium tank, the Type 4 Cheeto. The Cheeto, it is just a average Tier 6 medium tank that can take quite a beating before it is killed. The Cheeto, when I was using it, I did quite well in it. When I was using it, I actually liked using this tank a lot. The important thing when you are driving the Cheeto, you have to know how to use the Cheeto properly and learn how to deal with all of the weaknesses that the Cheeto have. Once you have learned how to play the Cheeto properly and learn to deal with all of the weaknesses that the Cheeto does have, you can do quite well in the tank. Most of the matches I had in the Cheeto, they were mostly average to very good when I was using the Cheeto. Very few of the matches I had in the tank were completely terrible matches. In the correct hands, the Cheeto can be a pretty good Tier 6 medium tank to use. Let's get to the armor exterior view now. The armor on the Jiri, it is pretty bad. Any gun between Tier 4 to Tier 8 will penetrate the Jiri with ease. The only spot on the tank in the turret that have the most armor on the tank, it is the gun mantlet here. The gun mantlet have effectively 150 millimeters of armor. If you just shoot anywhere at the tank, you will penetrate the tank with ease. You may get a few lucky ricochets from time to time if you angle the armor correctly. The weaker spots on the tank is the commander's hatch, the cupola on top of the tank here, the lower glacis plate, the driver's hatch, the machine gun port, the hatches just beneath the driver's hatch, and the machine gun port in the front angle plate here. The cupola on top is a pretty weak part of the tank. If you do have the height advantage with the gun depression, you can hit the top of the tank here to do full damage. If the tank turret is to the left, to the right, or the rear is showing to you, just shoot at the doors on the side of the tank or rear here to damage the turret and the crew inside. The crew and the modules for this tank can be damaged pretty easily, so having a first aid kit and a repair kit, it is pretty important. Shooting from the front, HE rounds will do their damage still, but not their full amount. HE rounds fired from artillery or TD howitzers from the side or rear will do their full damage. So it is quite possible for artillery or TDs with howitzers when using HE, they could potentially one-shot the Cheeto if they are lucky enough. The engine, when it is damaged, it will only perform at 50% of whatever the horsepower is for it. The top engine of 400 horsepower, when it is damaged, will only put out 200 horsepower, which will make this tank pretty slow to move. So having the engine repaired ASAP, it is pretty important if you don't want to be moving pretty slowly. A well-placed shot to the engine department in the rear of the tank or the wheel can potentially set the tank on fire or damage the tank engine. If the tank it is set on fire, you have a 15% to have the engine set on fire. It is always a good idea to have a fire extinguisher equipped, just in case if a fire starts. Just remember this tank armor can be penetrated pretty easily. The crew and the modules can be damaged pretty easily. Let's get to the stats of the Cheeto now. The Cheeto, when it is fully upgraded, the maximum hit points will be 820 hit points. This 820 hit points, you can take a few hits before you are killed. The maximum load limit with the top tracks will give you 35 tons. My current loadout for this tank it is 32.91 tons out of 35 tons. The top engine will give you a 400 horsepower engine with a 15% of the engine being set on fire. When the engine it is damaged, you will be moving pretty slowly. Fix the engine ASAP if you want to have the 400 horsepower engine still. The top speed it is 45 kilometers. If you are lucky on flat terrain, you can reach this top speed from time to time. But if you are going downhill, you will reach that 45 kilometer speed pretty quickly. The horsepower to ton ratio for my tank it is 12.15 horsepower to 1 ton. This 12.15 horsepower to 1 ton, it could be worse, it could be better. It will just do. The armor, it is pretty bad. The hull armor and the turret armor, any gun will penetrate with ease. Front of the hull armor 75, side rear 35. Turret armor in the front it is 75 for the front, gun mantled 150, rear side 50. The gun damage it is mediocre at best. It is pretty low when it comes to average damage. You will do 130 average damage across the board, except for HE, which will do more. The shell penetration for the top gun, you will pen most tier 4s to tier 6s with ease. Certain tier 5 and tier 6s, if they know how to use their heavy armor properly, they can ricochet your oncoming rounds. Tier 7s and 8, you need to know where to penetrate to do your damage when you are facing them. The gun depression, it is pretty good on this tank. It is 10 degrees downwards, while the gun elevation upward, it is 20, which is pretty good. The rate of fire and the loading time, it is pretty good on this tank when you have the tank fully upgraded with a good crew and module setup as well. The the base view range with the top turret, it is 360 meters. You can increase the view range by using coded optics, perks, and binocular telescopes. The radio range on this tank it is pretty good. The top engine will the top radio I mean the top radio will give you a 750-meter radio range. Let's get to the pros and the cons of the tank now. The pros and the cons for the Cheeto. The Cheeto, as this is a tier 6 tank, you can get yourself into tier 8 matches. The play style for the Cheeto is that you're going to be playing the tank as a sniper, as a support tank, and as a flanking tank. If you are good with frontline battle tanks and know how to use the Cheeto, you can use the Cheeto with some to a lot of success as a frontline battle tank for the Cheeto. The pros for the Cheeto is that you have a lot of HP to work with. You can take a good amount of hits before you are killed. The Cheeto have very good gun depression and gun elevation. The Top Gun have some pretty good average damage and average shell penetration to work with. The Top Gun have a good rate of fire, accuracy, and aiming time. The gun mantled, it is 150 millimeters of armor. The turret, it is pretty well armored. If you are in a hold down position, only showing the upper part of the hull and the turret, you can actually use the armor to somewhat of a effective manner at times. The cons for the Cheeto. It's big and it is bulky. The crew and the modules can be knocked out pretty easily. The tank have a bad horsepower to ton ratio. The tank maneuverability, it is so-so. The tank armor can be penned by most tank guns in the game. Let's get to the research part of the tank now. The research for the Cheeto, it is pretty straightforward. If you want to just go through the Cheeto as fast as possible to unlock and continue onward from the Chiri to the tier 8 and 9, the only equipment that you need to research on the Cheeto to get to the Chiri is the top radio and the top gun. Mount the top gun and the top radio. This will make the grind a little bit more easier for you. The top gun and the top radio will also be used on the Chiri as well. The top turret, you have to research it anyway. You can mount it if you want to, but you don't have to. The two turrets are pretty much the exact same. The only difference between the two is that the upgraded turret will just give you a slight increase in hit points. You can save all the needed EXP on the Chiri and not research the upgraded tracks and the engine. The upgraded engine and tracks, they are not transferable They can only be used on the Cheeto. If you do plan to get the upgraded tracks and turret, they will just give you a slight boost increase. That's it. The tracks. Let's begin off with them. The these stock tracks will give you 32-ton load limit with a 27 traverse just for the 27 whole traverse speed, which is not that good. The upgraded tracks will give you 30 whole traverse speed with a 35 ton load limit. The engine. Both of the engine have the same chance of being set on fire. From the stock to the upgraded engine, it will just give you a 100 more horsepower engine just for the top engine. From the stock 300 to the top 400 horsepower engine. The engine will give you a slight boost if you have the top one. It will just increase your horsepower to ton ratio just by a little bit. The radius varies from 400 to 750 meters. You might as well use the 750 meter radial. The two turrets, they're the exact same. The only difference between the two, it is the HP boost. That's it. The two guns are pretty much the exact same. The only difference between these two guns from the Type 5 to the Type 5 Model 1 gun, it is a difference in rate of fire, the average penetration, and the average damage increase for all three of them. The shotgun, you will have problem penning certain tanks still, but with the upgraded gun, you will have a bit of an easier time penning tanks. Once you have gotten the needed modules on the tank to continue onward to research the Cheery, go ahead and do that. If you have all the equipment researched and mounted on the Cheeto, continue your way to research the Cheery. I made a video review on the Cheery already, so you can just watch that if you want to know how to use the Cheery. The Cheeto research is pretty straightforward, just like the Cheery. Let's get to the modules, the ammo, and the consumable layout for the Cheeto now. The consumables that I mount on the Cheeto, which is a standard setup across all of my tanks. It is a first aid kit of some kind, a repair kit, and a fire extinguisher. The module that I have equipped to the tank right now, it is the medium caliber tank gun rammer. The other viable option for modules to equip is the toolbox to get your repair done faster, the enhanced gun laying drive to decrease your aiming speed even more, coated optics, not a bad idea if you want to have a permanent view range increase by 10%. Binocular telescopes, I would go with this if you have it. The good thing about the binocular telescopes over the coated optics is that with the binocular telescopes, if you have it, you can demount it on one tank and mount it on another tank with these without paying gold to demount it. A medium caliber tank gun rammer, and the last viable module to equip to this tank, it is the improved ventilation class 2. The ventilation class 2 will just improve your tank performance just by a little bit and improve your crew by 5%. The ammo layout I go with, it is mostly standard AP armor piercing rounds with some premium armor piercing rounds with some HE. The only difference between the premium and the non-premium armor piercing round is that the premium armor piercing round just costs a little bit more, but you get like 32 millimeters more when it comes to penetration. So using the premium armor piercing round is not a bad idea if you do not mind spending the credits for them. The HE, it's pretty good when you are firing on softly skinned targets such as scout tanks and artillery. You would be mainly using the non-premium armor piercing round. This ammo type have more than enough penetration to penetrate most tanks in the game up to tier 8. Just make sure you know where to aim to get your shell to do a penetrating hit and do damage as well. Let's get to some replays now so I can show you how I use the Cheeto. This replay, me, Manmark, and Dearman, we are top tier in this tier 6 maximum match. Me and Dearman, we are going to the ridge line here. Madmark, he is going to the ridge line in the town between the two towns. Right now I am just staying behind this cover here in case if any of their fast tanks peek over. Seeing their fast tanks have not peek over yet, I gradually move forward after I check my right flank to make sure there are no advancing tanks. Seeing a KV-85, TOG, a Lecto, and a KV-2, I am being very careful now as I peek over the ridgeline here. I am only showing my turret and using my amazing gun depression. I really should have had gone on the other side of the hill after firing. I took a nasty hit from the SU-100Y. That SU-100Y have to go. I got a good shot on it, another good shot before it retreated backwards. Right now I am being careful with this TOG right now. The TOG and I have a pretty good loading time for our tank guns. The KV-2 at A4, it is retreating backwards. Try to have a shot on it, seeing the valley area. It is clear. I advance forward. This KV2, when it does come into the open, I have a shot at it. When this KV1S gets out of my sight, I got the last shot on the KV2 when our KV1 got out of my gun sight view. This SU-100Y, this is the best part of the replay. Me and Dearman, we are trying to focus fire on the SU. I did some friendly ram damage to him. At this point, we noticed that the enemy team is in the valley there. Me, Dearman, us both, we went to the ridge line up here to focus our fire on the T-150, and the Cromwell. This Valentine, when it does pop up again, I finish it off. Seeing the Valentine is in the open area here, I fired blindly, hoping to kill it. This Valentine got into a lower terrain, which I can shoot at. This Cromwell, if I get the last shot on the Cromie there, I would have gotten a Top Gun. Unfortunately, I did not get the Top Gun there. I did pretty good in this replay. I did about 1,350 damage. Let's get to the next replay now. This replay, I am in a platoon with two other people from my clan I am in, Matt Mark and Dearman. This is mostly a tier 6 and 5 match. I will show you how the Cheeto can be a good tank to use when it comes to the changing the tide of the match. But that will be shown later on in the replay. Right now I am getting to the ridge line here, which have some bushes and a rock for me to use as cover. From this position, I can support my team advancement and shoot any tanks that the Covenanter sees. This KV-1, I try to get a shot on him, but missed. This Archer, I get 2 of my shots on it before it disappears. I took a last blind shot on the Archer. I got the kill with my 3rd blind shot. Right now I am just moving back and forth behind this rock to to get off of the enemy team radar. Seeing the Dickermax, Nashorn, and the Type T-34, I got back to this position here to see if I can have a clear line of sight on any of them. This Type T-34, I missed my shot on it when it was moving. We are doing pretty good on the left side. Just pay attention to the bottom left side of the map. Our team is going to get killed soon enough down there. The right front, it is not looking good for us. Only Mad Mark is there with the Churchill supporting him. At the time, I thought we were going to do a left side push to the base. I tried to support my team from this location. This is about the time in the match when I was playing it. I saw that the right side we are losing territory. I told Dear Man to help Mad Mark out. I am telling Mad Mark now to fall back. If he stays in that location any longer, he could get killed. This is where me and my platoon changed the tide of the battle. Once the enemy tanks in this area is taken care of, the platoon, we are going to do a base charge. I got a good shot on the Dickermax. Dear Man is trying to do a ramp charge, I think. I got the kill for the Dickermax there. Now our bottom left side there, it is officially dead. The enemy team, seeing that their right side push to our base failed, they are trying to get to a defensive position at their base now. Knowing we are coming, we have to be very careful, because the Tog and the Nashorn could potentially kill the platoon with ease if they have us spotted the entire time with their already aiming at us. I am right now carefully peeking over the ridge, not knowing what I'm going to be seeing. Dear Man and a RD killed the RD, killed the Tog. Dear Man got the RD kill. We almost have brother in arms here. Dear Man and me just need to get another kill. The AMX turret at tier 6, if you use it properly, it can be pretty good at tier 6 still. I missed my shot. Seeing the AMX charging, I took a shot on the AMX, killing the AMX. I got the last kill in the match. I did pretty good in the Cheeto in this replay as being a top tier tank. Me and my platoon, we almost got a contribution medal. Unfortunately, we did not get the 2 kills needed, and also we did not get the brother in arms. Dear man did not get the needed kill for that medal. I did pretty good in this match. I did about 1,150. Let's get to the next replay now. This replay, I will be showing you how to use the Cheeto when you are in a tier 7 or a tier 8 match. It is quite important that you know where to aim at, because most tier 7 and 8 generally have pretty good armor when you get to the tier 7 or 8 tank for any nation. With the Top Gun, you do not have the best pen when it comes to shooting at a tier 7 and 8, so it is very, very important that you know where to shoot at. Let me just speed up the replay a bit to get to the front line a little bit. Someone got friendly fire damage. I could go either of the 2 fronts here, around the 9 line or the 5 line. The 9 line, that is where usually the heavy tanks go. With the fast supporting tanks, I came to the 9 line to support my team advancement. Right now I am being very careful, using the terrain and allied team members as extra armor when they are in front of me. This IS, I am penetrating his front armor in the hull with ease. I think I got hit by something. Being very careful now not to get hit by anything. Seeing the IS have reinforcement on the way. I am trying to use the Tiger 1 as a shield while I am firing. I took a nasty hit from a IS, the KV-13, and the Comet. If this was a tier 8 match, I would probably be dead by now. Right now, I am being very careful at what I shoot at. I am one-shotable by any of the tanks in the match now. I am still using my allies' dead tank carcasses as armor, and allied tanks for extra armor when they're in front of me. With the Firefly taken care of, I am going to the ridge line in front of me. I am being careful, knowing that tanks in the valley there could one-shot me. I am using the ridge line here to cover as much of my lower glacis plate as much as possible. This SU-100Y have to go. This is where my usefulness to the team comes to an end. Everyone is now going towards the 1-2 line of the EF area to get the remaining kills. I did get a few shots, but they did not penetrate or do damage at all. Also, the black prints up there going to be dead soon by the Wolverine, the T-25, and the Nashorn soon enough. This 4H, I almost got a shot on it. Unfortunately, the AT on my team killed him. This black print, I did get a track shot on it. I only just tracked him. I did not too bad in a tier 7 match. I did 1,300 damage. Let's go to the garage now and do a recap on the Cheeto. Let's do a brief recap on the Cheeto. The Cheeto, it's a pretty good average tier 6 medium tank that can take a beating before it is killed. The Cheeto Top Gun, it is pretty good if it used correctly. You can accumulate a lot of damage if the gun it is used right. The Cheeto is a pretty good solo or even as a platoon tank. If the Cheeto is used properly, once you have learned how to use the tank properly and learn how to deal with the tank weaknesses, the Cheeto can be a pretty good tank to use. In the right hands, the Cheeto can be a pretty good tier 6 tank to use for a tier 6 medium tank. This tank, I would recommend it to people that would want to have a good tier 6 medium tank to use. Me personally, I am planning to keep the Cheeto as a fun tier 6 medium tank to use from time to time. I hope that you learn a thing or two about the Cheeto and how to use it properly. Good luck on the battlefield, everyone.